So persistent inflation may be putting the American dream of buying your own home out of reach for more and more people. A new study finds the cost of owning and maintaining a single family home is up 26% since 2020. That's nearly $4,000 more each year, mortgage installments not included. Let's bring in real estate developer Leslie Rubin. She's CEO of Rubin Development Company and founder, Mr. Leslie. He is the CEO of your company and founder of Main Street Economics. Thank you very much. Sorry, I apologize. Let me ask you here. Let's go here. First of all, beyond saying Bidenomics not working, break down for us, would you, what components are causing the rise in unaffordable prices?
Well, it's pretty clear the main causes are going to be inflation and interest rates. That's causing a supply shortage. And when you have a supply shortage, prices go up. The high interest rates are keeping present homeowners from being willing to sell because they don't want to give up a low 3% interest rate in order to get to a high interest rate, which becomes unaffordable. And inflation is driving up the cost of new construction. All of which is making it very difficult to afford new housing for people in the housing market.
Yeah, and if you sell your house, whatever money you do make on that, the profit doesn't really, it's not enough to buy a new home given the extensive high prices that we have. But let me go here because you mentioned developing homes. Let's look at the average prices of homes in Q1 of 2024, which is about $513,000 compare that to Q4 of 2020. At $397,000. Now, again, you are a developer, you're a real estate developer, CEO Rubin Development Company. So no offense, but here comes the question. Do major developers have a hand in this, scooping up properties, flipping them and slapping on a huge price tag?
That's not the primary problem. The primary problem is that we have inflation, which has driven up interest rates and trying to control inflation. And that's driven up the cost of ownership to the point where people can't afford it. So some investors are coming in to try and fill that demand with rentals. And that is a solution to the problem. It's not the long-term solution. The long-term solution has to be government policy.
And you're saying the developers coming in to accommodate the consumer with affordable rentals, but people, nothing wrong with renting at all. But many people would prefer to own their home, purchase their home, as opposed to renting. So what do you say to that?
Well, I think that they do prefer to own their home, but it's become unaffordable between the interest rates, the price of the homes, the shortage of supply, which is driving up prices, and the cost of property insurance and taxes. All is making it unaffordable. So as an interim step, that's not a bad solution. Over time, I think interest rates will come down, but we have to get the government policy right before that's ever going to happen. We have to
and maybe
get
government policy can do something. Government spending under control. I heard you, Mr. Rubin, and also maybe there's something the government can do with these. Hugely inflated property insurance and homeowners insurance costs. You mentioned that. Property insurance, of course, is depending on where you live, according to the percentage of your of the value of your home. But homeowners insurance is out of control. I want to run through a couple other things with you while I have you. Right now, I want to look at the rise in build-to-rent homes in the U.S. This is according to Rent Cafe. If we show the graphic, you'll see a steep spike over 5 years between 2019 and 2023. So, Mr. Rubin, are Americans buying the American dream only to rent it out to afford supporting their families?
Well, the difficulty we have is that people can't afford the homes, so investors are coming in to fulfill a shortage. And that's a temporary thing, I believe. If we get interest rates back under control and house prices level off, then I think that can change. In the meantime, it's a supply and demand issue that's both driving up prices, making it unaffordable, and causing other investors to fill demand. People want to live in single-family house and they can't afford it. so they rent. That will change in time, but we have to get back to good economics in our government before interest rates can come down and inflation can come down.
Well, let's look at the average rate on a 30-year loan. It is down to 7.09%. That was in June, which is down, if you show the graphic, please, which is down from 7.22% in May, but it's up significantly from pandemic-era lows of around 3%. So will we ever see the 3% and 4% rates again? And should the too-big-to-fail banks work with American home buyers a bit more? I mean, is there something the banks can do?
I think we will see better interest rates down the road. The 3% was an abnormal low, 7% is very high. It will come down, but we have to get inflation under control first. And to get inflation under control, we have to get our spending under control. I mean, this is why I started my nonprofit, Main Street Economics, to try and educate people about what's going on and how we can fix this problem.
And I'm running out here, but ultimately, you're saying the government has to get the spending under control. I mean, what's the number one thing they can do that in 20 seconds?
We have to get spending under control at the national, federal level in order to get inflation under control, which will get interest rates under control.
Okay. Got to go. More to talk to you about. Maybe you'll come back. Real estate developer Leslie Rubin, thank you very much, and we'll be right back.